Over the course of the past year, our team through Design for America has worked to try to understand the issues that these individuals face by having conversations with both the homeless population themselves, people who work at homeless shelters, and people within street outreach teams. Our team realized that one of the biggest issues that homeless people face today is the gap between the resources being provided for them and the actual accessibility of those resources.
Our solution is an app called the Allocator. The Allocator has three main features. The first is used primarily by street outreach teams so that they can record the number of people they see at certain locations and the number of resources that they hand out there.
They can click Input Data on the home screen, and they'll be taken to a map which snaps to their current location. They can enter an address or click a location on the map, and they'll be asked to confirm their location. They can then input the number of people they spoke to, in this case maybe 15, resources distributed, so for instance maybe they handed out 2 hand warmers, 5 blankets, 8 socks, etc., and resources requested, in case someone asks for an item they don't have. In this case, maybe someone asks for a scarf, so they can enter 1 scarf and add that to the list. They can then add comments about who they saw or where they went, which can be used by the next night's street team to help plan their routes more effectively.
So say we want to plan the next bit of our route and we want to see the trends that have come up over the past few months so that we can better plan the route. We can take a look at those by clicking on View Trends and selecting the data we want to see. So maybe we want to see resource distribution, and we want to look at all of the resources we distribute. We can choose a time range, so let's say December 2014, and then we can pick an area. So I'd like to look at the area around here. And then we can see the most demanded resources from this area in that month. The second feature is an events page, which incorporates events from shelters across Boston and Cambridge. You can organize it by topic. You can also check organizations, so maybe people like Rosie's Place, and they want to see what's going on there. So they can see the different events they're offering. And then if you wanted to search, maybe you're looking for work, so you want to type in job, and then it'll come up with job training programs or a financial administration prep program. So that way, even if you don't really know about all of these events, you can still direct people to resources that might be helpful to them.
Wow.
And finally, we have bed count. Bed count is a feature that keeps track of available beds at shelters throughout Boston and Cambridge, so that if a person finds that their first choice is full for the night, they have somewhere else to look.
You can go to the bed count over here, and then you can select certain preferences that you want, such as dry. Enter that, and then they give you different shelters nearby, such as Rosie's Place, Harvard Square Homeless Shelter, that have beds available, and we can contact them.
Throughout this process, we've been working with the street outreach team at Harvard Square Homeless Shelter, and they can tell you a little more about how our app would change the way street teams work.
It's one of the frustrating things about this kind of work is that there are a lot of services out there, but what's the hard part is actually like connecting people and getting them to access and use those services. So this to me is like a key thing that will bridge that gap between the service providers and the people who really need them.